How's it going, everybody? It is Thursday, September 10th. Wow, that's flying by. This year has gone by quickly. I want to welcome everyone to the Stay True team call. I'm excited about tonight's topic because rejection is something that we deal with all the time. And so it's an attitude, it's how you deal with it. It's just basically the life in network marketing, to say the least, and just in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. There's a lot of times when we want it more than the customer does, and those are the times that get frustrating, get aggravating. So tonight we're going to focus on that. And I just want to, again, earlier tonight I posted in our team page the point totals for this past week. Those are our team volume points. So that is what each person's individual business center, through customer orders and or your personal volume orders, what you contributed to the team in our total team volume. So congrats to everybody that I recognized. I recognize everybody who gets above 100 volume points. What that tells me is that you not only had your own Shakeology order that may have shipped that week, which that should be automatic. We get 90 points for that. So I can't recognize for that, because that's kind of the minimum standard, let's just say, okay? So I like to encourage you guys and push you guys to try to get above 100 points before you get your little name written on the team picture. So anyway, congrats to everyone that was able to accomplish that this past week, and I'm excited to see what the rest of September holds for us. So let's go ahead and jump on the topic of rejection and how to handle objections that we face that cause the feeling of rejection. I could be a poet, I think. No. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so guys, here's the thing. If you're a new coach starting out, or if you're a seasoned coach, and I think you need to be reminded of this fact all the time, okay? We are in a business where we do deal with a lot of rejection. You will deal with people telling you, oh, that's one of those network marketing things, or scams, or pyramids, or I knew somebody that tried that before, and yeah, it just didn't work, or that's too expensive, or that's not worth how much money I'm paying for it, or you're going to hear all those things. So when you hear those things now, you've already heard me. If it's the first time hearing me say that, you've just now heard that already. So when you do hear somebody say that to you, you're not going to be shocked. You're not going to feel bad. You're going to say, hey, wait a minute. Glenn told me I was going to hear that. So you won't be disappointed. You won't be shocked. In fact, you'll probably think in your mind, that's funny, because somebody told me you were going to say that to me, and it won't be such a big shock. So that's my attitude with it anyway. And I don't know. I read that in personal development. I think it was in GoPro somewhere, or one of his, I get his emails about, his daily videos, Eric Worre's daily videos. And I think he talked about that in there, but I'll stop blabbering because Beth has some good info to bring you guys, and I'll turn it over to her now.
Okay. So I think handling objections, this is kind of the bridge between, are you going to be successful with your business, or are you going to quit? Because a lot of times when you're first starting out and you hear a lot of the objections, you're like, oh, this business is not for me. So that's why this is so important. You have to push through this. And I mean, we all get objections. So it doesn't matter if you're a brand new coach or a 10-star diamond coach, like you're all, everyone does. It's just the nature of our business. So like Glenn said, we all hear them. You're going to hear them. Just be prepared. And there's a couple things that I wrote down just in thinking about this. And we'll also give you some resources in our online office that you can always refer back to as well. But I think it's interesting that the two biggest excuses we hear are, I don't have the money and I don't have the time. And those also happen to be the two biggest things that people waste on a daily basis. So the key here is getting to know the person that you're talking to. So the first little tidbit is When someone gives you an objection, validate and overcome it instead of getting defensive. So, if they're going to bash Shakeology a little bit, that's their excuse for not wanting it. The best thing I feel like is to start with something like, oh, I understand. And it's easy for me to do that because I didn't drink Shakeology in the beginning either. So I can be like, I understand. I didn't drink it for a whole year when Glenn was drinking it. I just didn't think it was worth it. And I was never into protein drinks. So when you can kind of connect with them and show like, all right, yeah, I've been there. I understand where you're coming from. The second thing is be the leader of the conversation and believe in your product. So when someone tells, and this basically goes back to our 5-step process. So if you're brand new and you have not learned the 5-step process yet, we can show you where to find that. We have it in our team page, and also those of you that are brand new, it'll be in our Coach Basics group that we're starting on Monday. But you need to ask questions to learn about them. So this is like step 2 of our 5-step invite. And in with that is what we call breadcrumbing, where if someone contacts you and says, can you tell me more about that challenge group you posted about? You do not come back with, oh yeah, size is, the PIO challenge pack is on sale for $140. You do not say that. You start with, sure, can you tell me why you're interested? So you don't want to, we get so excited about Beachbody, and I'm a talker, so I'm totally guilty of this too. We want to tell them what has worked for us, and we want to tell them, how awesome the program is that worked for us. And we say all that, and I hate this term, but people say like you vomit the information all over people. Can you turn that off? It's driving me crazy because I can see the light in the background.
Oh,
your Steelers game.
I was looking for the reflection in the background.
But anyways, we like spill all this info all over them, and we're so excited, and they're like, yeah, okay. It's a turn off to people. So you want to breadcrumb with them and just give them like little tidbits. So yeah, can you tell me why you're interested? And then, they may say, gosh, I'm just I'm in a funk with my workouts. And you can just slowly introduce the workouts. And then you ask them how their nutrition is. And then when, it's an easy lead in once you've asked them about their nutrition and they say, it's terrible. I rely on processed foods, or I hit the drive-through at work, when I'm at work. Then when you start talking about Shakeology, you have something to overcome their excuses. Oh, that's too expensive. It's like, well, no, it's $4 a shake, and you're spending that at McDonald's or wherever for, a crappy meal. And this is a great meal. So definitely you have to take the time to get to know. You have to take the time to build these relationships. The third thing is create value. So this is not just, here's your program. This is, you get the program. You get me coaching you. You get my accountability group of like-minded people who are going to support you. You get 30 meals. Sometimes it's better to refer to Shakeology as 30 meals, because that sounds a lot better than like, 30 shakes that someone thinks they're just going to snack on. It sounds like more worth a higher price if it's a meal. So definitely create the value. And if someone says like, oh, that's so expensive, don't ever apologize for our products, because we know they're worth it. I mean, these products are designed by people with their PhDs. They're designed by exercise physiologists. I mean, we know they work, they've been tried and tested. So don't apologize for the price. Just be confident in that you believe in these products, they work. And I mean, like Glenn and I were talking about this earlier, if we added up all the hours we spend giving our advice, and just the time we spend in the challenge groups, and even the time we spend in a free group, it's like, I don't even want to know how many hours I put into those. But we definitely have more to offer than just, here's your $60 21-day fix program. The fourth thing is use stories, your own personal story, or your, stories from our team, instead of facts. And I'm not saying I don't want you to know the facts, and please know that in our online office we have so many tools to help you. So there's like product comparisons in there, there's talking points about every single product that we have, there's more than you'll ever want to know about Shakeology. But when you're first sharing it with someone, realize that it's the emotion of your story. That's what people are going to associate with. So when I say, my gosh, I love Shakeology, I'm not going to ramble off about, every superfood that's in it. I'm going to say, wow, it totally, it boosts my energy. I don't get my mid-afternoon lull anymore. Or now I tell everyone, it has done wonders for our whole family's immune system. We have 3 kids, they're bringing home all kinds of germs and whatever. And we just, since we're all drinking it, we avoid so many colds and flu bugs and everything that we used to just catch and pass around the whole family. So definitely share with your story and what you like and how it's worked for you. Or you can, if you hear someone talk about their cholesterol or their diabetes, you can say, oh my gosh, so-and-so on my team has had this huge success with, lowering their cholesterol because of Shakeology. Like, share our team's stories,
Right.
like they're your own, because we are working on this together.
And if you don't see a story from someone on our team about something, there are tons of videos. If you just go on YouTube and you go to Team Beachbody, or you go to Beachbody and you're following them on YouTube, you can find pretty much like small case studies of what people have had success with, or, just different facts and everything. So they're in the form of a story, because I always hear, you always hear the saying, stories sell, facts tell. Okay, people don't want to be told about something. I mean, they do, but they want it, if you can put that into a story, so like Beth said, they can relate to it, then that's going to that's going to connect with them emotionally, versus saying, oh, Shakeology has over 70 superfoods in it. It has 18 grams of protein in it, unless you mix it with this or that.
That just scares people off.
That's boring.
That's too much information.
So,
you guys someone had posted about do I recommend the packets? And here's my thing with the packets. In the beginning, I bought the samples and I would give them away to people. And what I found was, if I gave someone the packet, they would never try it. And I don't know why. It's like, it's free, but
it's free. There's no value.
So if I do recommend purchasing the packets, and if someone wants to try it, I usually tell them I sell them for $5 a piece. And that's kind of across the board. Like, you'll hear Shay Stanford, she has awesome talks, and you can find it on the Beachbody podcast. She was a pharmaceutical rep, and she really has all these comebacks for when people object to Shakeology. But she's the one that said, don't give it away for free. So sell them for $5 a piece. I will tell people, you can buy one to taste it, but if you really want to see how your body feels on it, I recommend that you buy a week's worth. So, 5 to 7 days. And they didn't used to have the super sampler, but now they do. So that's an even easier way, because they get every flavor, and then they're going to have it for, the 6 days to try it. Because usually people need to be on it a few days to really see how they're going to feel. Or if by day 4 or 5, they will say, oh yeah, wow, my cravings are reduced. And so I definitely recommend getting them. And sometimes, I will give them away. Like this month in my challenge group, I'm using the point tracker again. So, sometimes that's a nice giveaway. And a lot of those people are already on Shakeology, but then they'll win one for participating in the group, and I'll send them a flavor that they haven't tried or something like that. The last thing I had written down was just the importance of personal development. And, especially if you're doing a lot of your business just online, and so maybe you go the whole day and you haven't really interacted with someone in person, or you've talked to a couple of people on the phone and everyone's just telling you no, or people aren't getting back to you. the personal development is what's going to keep your mindset positive. And, it doesn't matter which book you choose. We have a list of great books in our team page, but once you get through the first, few that we recommend, like The Compound Effect and Go Pro and Go for No and those kinds of books, you may pick one that, I may love one that doesn't really pertain to you and vice versa. So there's so many of them out there. If you need help choosing one, let us know. But it's a good way to, remind yourself, like, okay, I'm not alone in this. This is just the nature of our business. And you guys have heard me say this probably every single week on the call. The best thing for me, as far as an objection that like I can't get someone to come around, leave it positive. Leave it on a positive note. So if their objection is like, well, my husband, he just doesn't want me to because I have a gym membership that I never use. And I mean, people have so many excuses. And to that, I just leave it as like, please know that if you ever change your mind, I would love to help you. I try to sound, even in my messages, like very upbeat. Like, I just know this group would be great for you, but whatever you do, I just want to highly encourage you to start something. If you have a gym membership already, get yourself to the gym. Like, that is my way of showing them that what I care most about is that they make these positive changes. And people will come, they'll come back, or they'll at least see that I wasn't just in it just for the sale. I had a genuine interest in helping them feel better and get back on track. We're going to show you, or are you going to show them where some of the examples are? But I wanted to talk about costs one time.
Yeah, and I was just going to share with them where they can find the resources.
Okay, so because cost is such a huge, we hear that all the time, especially with the shakes, not so much the programs. But like I said before, when someone asks you, comes right back and says, yeah, how much is it? I don't want you posting like, I will post like the Christmas sale or the holiday sale, but a lot of times I don't just say, the challenge pack is $140, because one, people don't know what the challenge pack is. You really need to work with them first, so to completely avoid the objection. Yeah, create the value. When they say, all right, well, how much is it? Like, I posted about an accountability group tonight. If someone messages me tonight and says, I'm in, but how much is it? First I say, well, that depends on what you need. Let me start by asking you a few questions. And then I go through the step 2 with them. Don't say like, oh, the challenge pack is only $140. There's people that you've already started talking to. You can get back to them and say, hey, I was thinking of you the other day, thinking about our conversation. Have you heard of the 21-day fix? I was just thinking about how you said, you only have 45 minutes a day. This is only 30 minutes a day. Like, when you're sharing it with them, you're creating the value. You're really like talking up how it's going to work perfectly for them. And that because you've already, you've breadcrumbed with them, you've talked with them, you've taken the time to get to know them. It's not just a quick, here, see if this is for you. So there's tons of objection of examples in the back office.
Right. If you go in your online office and you go to the news and training tab under the leadership ladder, and you'll see different levels or ranks. You'll see the getting started one, and then you'll see the coach. If you click on coach, and then you'll see 3 tabs once you click on that. Go to the oh shoot, let me look real quick. It's the middle tab, and it's gonna be
just hit your back. Oh no.
Nope. Give me 1 second here. I just don't want to lead you guys astray here. But basically what you're gonna do,
why don't you share your screen and show them?
I'm gonna share my screen and show you. Beautiful idea I just had. All right, so if you go to news and training, can everyone see my screen okay? All right, and you go to training. And under the coach tab here, learn more. And then learn how. Okay, so under this tab, there's the inviting. So you'll see the 5-step invitation process. There's a PDF and or a video. How to overcome objections. This is a great one. They do specifically talk about cost or price in that one. And then this is where you would find your challenge group guides, things like that. But, you know, for tonight's call and purpose, this is some great training that you can do as far as you heard us refer to the 5-step invitation process, and then also this PDF as far as overcoming objections. So this is a great resource. And also, if you go to the personal development books, I know GoPro has a section on overcoming objections and handling them, and you know, use those resources and see what other professionals are saying and doing, and how to handle and kind of basically come back to that person when they do throw an objection at you, because it's inevitable, it's going to happen. If you haven't heard an objection yet, then you're either a brand new coach or you haven't invited enough. So one, you have an excuse. The second one, not really. But
well, and I feel like a lot of price objections are because it's a lack of realized value. So
right.
they really don't understand that they're not just buying a program. I mean, everyone has a workout program that's on their shelf that they haven't done. You know, they're afraid of that kind of thing. They don't realize that this is different. When we sell you a program, we're like committing to you to help you be successful. So
yeah, stressing that, I think we need to do more of that, you know, me included, is saying, you know, you get me, you get the other challengers, you get one-on-one attention, you get.
Well, that's why in our 5-step script that's in Stay True, you know, we say the coaching is complimentary. Like, you're going to get this and this and this, and then you're going to get all this for, you know, basically for free. So however you feel comfortable wording it, you know, don't be afraid. I think we need to remember, like, you need to come across with confidence, and your personal development helps with that. Your experience with the programs, you know, as you do more and try more, helps with that. But don't have a plan. The 5-step process is your plan, and be confident. Like, don't apologize for the price. So just, you love these products. That's why you're here. And I've just gotten better about just plain out, you know, sharing it like that with people. Like, this is awesome. I have seen this change lives. I've seen people change their health and get off medication. And I mean, I was watching a video earlier today. It's in the back office, and Tommy Migrant was saying, when people come back with another excuse, say, okay, well, do you want to lose the weight or not? You know, like, especially if you're talking face to face with someone, like, you just told me how miserable you are. Like, isn't it worth the $120, you know, $160 or whatever? It's like, sometimes you just got to be real, and you got to be a little upfront. I mean, you don't want to be offensive, but, you know, you want to be real and honest with them. And part of our job is to hold them accountable. So sometimes you have to be kind of forward.
So we do a little Q&A now? Or?
Yeah, what questions do you guys have?
I'm going to unmute everybody so that you can ask questions. All right, everybody's unmuted, so you can hear everything you're doing. Except Sean, he must have remuted himself, that punk. Does anybody have any questions that you can think of? No? Nope. Nobody's gonna.
Has a weird objection we haven't heard yet. I thought there'd be a lot of questions on this.
Me too.
I asked.
What's that?
I said, I'm just really good with people who are not responding or it's too expensive.
And when people don't respond, like last week I reached out to someone. I had followed up with a bunch of people from the clean eating group and heard, you know, it's like, crickets. And then one person I said, remember our group is starting on Monday. If you're still interested, I'd love to connect you. And she wrote back and was like, yeah, thanks for the follow-up. I'm like, oh my gosh, if everyone could just do that. But I think, I don't follow up with them every single day, but if you've been working with someone and you haven't heard from them for a few days or it's been a week, like, don't feel bad about checking back in, and definitely use Glenn's script of, I just wanted to check back in and I don't want to bother you. Some people you feel like you're bothering. So he'll say, I don't want to bother you, but please let me know either way, because I can always take you off my list. And then people are usually like, ooh, I don't want to be taken off the list. Like you can say, I can follow up with you this month, or should I just,
Yeah, I want to be on my list. That's all I'm guys.
So yeah, but we all get, that happens to everybody
Right.
too. Crickets,
It's annoying.
yeah.
It's annoying. So, any other questions, comments, random thoughts? No? All right. Well, then that will end the team call for this week. So,
All right, guys.
it was
Thanks for
good
jumping on.
seeing you all, and I look forward to seeing you all post and stay true.